Semi-interesting spot. Again, I think I probably go too small with my ace-queen.
Yeah, and this is a really big mistake, given how deep you guys are here. Because, I mean, I don't even know how you can really quantify his range by only making it 7 big blinds here. I mean, I guess I would throw out, like, aces and kings, and probably ace-king. But outside of that, I don't know how you quantify the middling part of his range.
Right.
And that makes it really difficult to play this hand. Unless you're just going to play for pure value, which I don't necessarily.
At the time, that was my approach. But he, with just 50 hands and him 4-betting me, I make what you might consider a pretty big fold. What do you think?
No, I think this is standard. I think it's a really standard fold here. If we were 100 big blinds, I think it would be a really big fold. But here, I think it's very much so standard.
Okay. I did want to ask you also about on table 2 here. It's the weaker player as the first caller that makes me contemplate squeezing here. Whereas if there wasn't a fish or a weaker player involved, I would usually just call.
Right. I definitely agree with the thought process here. I can tell you from experience that I've definitely tried to squeeze 9s and 10s here a ton. And the issue is that there's just going to be so many bad flops for us. Like the amount of times with 9s that we're going to see an overcard is probably, I think, close to 40%. Right? So even if we get our best desired result here and we get heads up with the fish, then only 40% of the time we're going to feel super confident with our hand. So in that situation, I think there's just got to be so many good things that have to happen in order for us to be successful here that I prefer a call.
Yeah.
With jacks would be where I would start here.
Okay. I just basically ended up calling to set mine and was done with it.
Yeah, which is fine. And I mean, there's certain boards still where we can check call without a set.
Right.
And still believe we have the best hand. I mean, it's certainly not a give-up play.
Are there any boards there that you might donk bet?
Yeah.
What would be an example of a board that you would donk bet there?
Deuce, 3, 3, 4.
So basically a really dry overpair for us?
Yep, and trying to get calls from this guy still, potentially calls from the other caller, and not trying to get calls from this guy.
Would it often be a bet fold against the under the gun player?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
Unless I have a ton of dynamics with the guy, which is possible.
Right.
For example, if I was the under the gun guy and saw me donk there, I would raise. Like whatever 2 cards, doesn't matter.
Right, so you would raise yourself. That would be a heck of a match. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Can maybe we can pay for that somehow. We could set that up. I want to see you play yourself heads up.
I would be 3-betting here with ace queen on table 1.
Yeah, is 10 okay?
10's good.
Okay.
10's good.
So I do flop top pair on 4, and real happy about this spot. Just feeling like I'm
absolutely
miles ahead. In fact, so far ahead that I do check. So how terrible is that?
That's not good.
I actually didn't think I was going
to... I will say this. If you have a lot of history with a guy, mixing this into your game is totally fine. And in fact, particularly with a guy like me that I have a really big check backing range, this is fine. But this guy probably doesn't know all that much about you. So I don't think there's any reason to get tricky here.
Yeah, and so I do get raised, and I immediately regret not betting the flop. And so this is, as we start, now we're getting into the next hand that I think I probably misplayed.
Okay.
And I go into call down mode, and I was not happy about it after the session.
When you were asking yourself, what would you do on a blank river if he bets? What was your answer?
When I called the turn, I was actually thinking that I was going to call all the way down.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's correct, but that was the plan.
It's fine. If that's your plan, how about min 3-betting the turn? Because what that does is he can still call you with worse, but if he jams on you, you know you don't have the best hand, right?
Right.
Plus, it ends the betting.
Right.
Unless donks into you, and if he donks into you, he has the best hand.
I do like that because it allows us to control the hand a lot more Whereas the line that I took here, I actually have relinquished control of this hand.
That's exactly right. And now we're really in a big guessing game against a guy we don't know.
Yeah.
Now, if your answer was that, yes, I was going to fold this river, then calling's fine, right? But if your answer was, I'm probably going to call, I prefer the min 3-bet there.
Okay. Yeah, and I think I agree with you there.